On your side, NBC12 News starts with breaking news.
I couldn't even imagine what she's personally going through, emotionally, physically, but those kids were their world.
Friends and loved ones are speaking about a mother who lost both of her children in a tragic house fire in Chesterfield. This is as we learn a sixth victim has died, and we have the latest in this tragedy coming up. Plus, it was an emotional scene in Indianapolis as workers at a FedEx facility return to get their belongings. The latest in the mass shooting investigation. And it was a tribute fit for a prince. Britain's Prince Philip was finally laid to rest today at Windsor Palace. We have the sights and sounds of today's historic funeral. We start with breaking news in that tragic house fire in Chesterfield County. We have learned another victim has died of injuries from the fire, bringing the death toll now to 6, including two children, the youngest just 2 years old. This evening, we are speaking with a close friend and co-worker of the mother who lost 2 of her children in this fire. She tells us her kids were her world, and that through this tragic loss, the community is stepping up in a big way to help support the family as they grieve. AJ Nwoko has the latest this evening.
I'm told Cynthia Seaborn is still trying to process this loss. Her friends have given her some space, but right now they say that they're trying to help out in the best ways they can.
My heart just dropped, honestly. I was speechless.
It's the last call Beverly Rosano expected to hear from one of her closest friends.
Beverly tells me a second fundraiser has been put up for Cynthia's extended family. If you would like to help any of those, we have that information on our news app. But for now, on your side, AJ Nwoko, NBC12.
Thank you, AJ. And now to the latest in the mass shooting at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis. Authorities say 4 members of the tight-knit Sikh community in Indianapolis were among the 8 people killed in that mass shooting. Investigators say the shooter began firing at people in the parking lot before entering the building and killing more people inside. On Friday, employees returned to work to get their vehicles. Alan Carter reports emotions were still very raw.
What did you do when you heard the shots?
No, I am inside. Okay.
The suspect has been identified as 19-year-old Brandon Scott Hull. He was a former employee at that facility. Right now, police are still searching for a motive in this. Let's turn now to the weather outside. It was a beautiful day with the sun shining through most of the day, and it's looking like tomorrow could be much of the same. That is good to know. And First Alert weather specialist Nick Russo is standing by now with a look at the forecast. Nick, how are things out there right now?
Jasmine, the clouds moved in a little bit for our Saturday evening. It's not as nice as it was earlier today.
In Virginia, we are just one day away from the entire Commonwealth moving into phase 2 of the state's vaccine rollout. Many areas are already in phase 2, but starting tomorrow, all Virginians 16 and older will be eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine shot. Governor Ralph Northam put out a video message yesterday encouraging all Virginians to get the COVID vaccine when possible. The governor saying tomorrow, vaccinate.virginia.gov will provide a link where you can search for vaccine appointments near you. You can also call the hotline 877-VAX-NVA or 877-829-4682. And taking a look at the vaccine numbers across the state right now, more than 5 million doses of the vaccine have been administered statewide. Today in Richmond, the Jackson Ward community is celebrating a huge milestone. It is the 150th anniversary of the city's first predominantly black neighborhood, and Mayor LeVar Stoney marked the occasion with a special proclamation.
As Jackson Ward celebrates its 150th anniversary, I am pleased to officially proclaim April 17th as Giles B. Jackson Day.
The Jackson Ward community is holding a special celebration happening right now in honor of that anniversary. Prince Philip, the late husband of Britain's Queen Elizabeth II, was laid to rest today following an emotional yet socially distant funeral service attended by members of the royal family. Here is a look at some of the sights and sounds from the ceremony commemorating the life of the Duke of Edinburgh.
I'm Ann Thompson at Windsor Castle. Now back to you.
Wow. Well, back here in the U.S., we are expecting to hear a verdict next week in the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd. The Minneapolis school system has decided to move classes to complete virtual learning beginning Wednesday, lasting at least through the rest of the week. Trending now, a crew from the International Space Station is safe and back on Earth after touching down in Russia this morning. Among them was American astronaut Dr. Kate Rubin, who completes her second International Space Station voyage.
Rob, Kate Rubins is outside of the capsule right now, giving high fives and all smiles.
In space on her 2 missions, Kate Rubins is home.
I was going to say she is all smiles there. The re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere and landing went perfectly as the capsule landed upright in Kazakhstan early this morning.
The NBC12 Sports Desk is sponsored by Pearson's Signature Dealerships, home of the 2-time warranty on engines and transmissions.
Back in Richmond after a hiatus last year due to the pandemic, the Richmond Raceway held the long-awaited Truck Series event to kick off a weekend with some of racing's biggest names. The Toyota Care 250 kicked off at the Richmond Raceway in the River City. It's been 2 full weeks since the trucks last raced at Bristol Motor Speedway, but today's race was full of action coming down to the wire. In the end, John Hunter Nemechek would take the checkered flag, winning his second Truck Series race of the year. He'd be followed closely by teammate Kyle Busch, who will compete again tomorrow in the Sprint Cup Series. Our sports director Mark Davis will be live at that race tomorrow when you join us back here at 6. Also happening today, the VHSL football playoffs continued with Thomasdale High School looking to advance to a state semifinal matchup. Again, Mark Davis was at the game and joins us now with a wrap of the action.
Thomasdale unblemished, but today running into a buzzsaw at Oscar Smith as the Tigers show the Knights the door in the Region 6A title game. At Oscar Smith High School, I'm Mark Davis, NBC12 Sports.
Thank you, Mark, and we're back after this. Thank you so much for joining us at 6 o'clock. Nightly is next, and we're back right here at 7 with more news, weather, and sports.